Something about you is different. Some kind of energy's messing with all the chemicals in my brain. Feel the temperature rising. That look in your eyes paralyzing. Forever you're never leaving my face. Heart is racing here now. Never wanna wait out. I want you right up to the end. Oh, you know what I'm feeling, even if it doesn't make sense. You don't have to guess. No, you're a mind reader. Something about you is different. Some kind of energy's messing with all the chemicals in my brain. Feel the temperature rising. That look in your eyes paralyzing. Forever you'll never leave in my veins. Heart is racing here now. Never wanna wait out. I want you right up to the end. Oh, you know what I'm feeling, even if it doesn't make sense. You don't have to guess. No, you're a mind reader. Mind reader.
What's up, everybody? Back with another video. Hope everybody's doing well and swell on this Tuesday, day after the full moon harvest night. This is like the night show. So shout out to all you guys. Let me know if you can hear me, as it says 0. So let me know if y'all can hear me. Let me know if y'all can hear me. I see the mic moving, but I want to know if you can hear me loud and clear. All right, thanks, Oil V. What's good? What's good, Cuts? So y'all can hear me. That's great. And yeah, a lot of, as always, I mean, I always say there's a lot of stuff going on in the world, in your country, and in your city. I mean, you know, people should look locally, because a lot of stuff is going on in your own communities. And it's all part of the agenda. And hopefully Wise joins in today. I left some links, so hopefully Wise jumps in today, because I kind of want to gloss over some pretty deep stuff. And because there's a lot going on um, with the domestic war that's going on in the United States that's being deliberately done um, on purpose to destabilize it, break it up, create fighting, create a distraction while it continues to crumble. And you just see it playing in every single realm. And I remember I was talking about the Bad Bunny halftime show for the Super Bowl, and lo and behold, you're already getting it. And it's a firestorm, and it's revolving around the same agenda, which is the exact same reason why they chose to do that. Pick one of the largest artists on the planet right now, which happens to be Spanish. So it all fits with the ICE agenda, and everything in between. What's good? What's good, Badger? Streams. So it just all fits. And then if you seen the news the past couple of days, Chicago is in ICE, causing all kind of all kind of terror. They're going after. I seen them chasing somebody on a damn bike, like seriously, and they couldn't even catch him on a bike, man. I mean, this stuff is a joke. I mean, I could be uploading videos all day long. It's I don't even bother. There's already other people doing it. We don't got the OGs. We don't got to do it no more. You know, we've been around here for long enough. So yeah, I literally saw someone was on a bike and there was like literally 15 ICE agents that couldn't even catch him. But you could tell it was straight staged because it was like, okay, roll the camera, and then the camera kind of panned in a perfect direction to where it wasn't just somebody randomly recording and then they captured. It was like a literal photo shoot, and he literally like ran away. I mean, it was a joke. I don't know who the joke was on, but it definitely wasn't on me. Like I couldn't believe it was. I wish I could uh, put it on the chat, whatever. I mean, on the screen and show you. It was laughable, but nonetheless, they had ICE agents that shot a woman, and you know, just crazy. But it's all the same rhetoric. Um, I mean, it is what it is. But it's pretty crazy to see that the same people that were like, no, you can't have military on the streets, even when the liberal leftist Democrats were destroying cities during, Mr. 19, Mr. COVID-19, Mr. Covert 19. You know, those same people were like, nah, we don't need, the military on the streets. The police need to do a better job, da da da, because we know what military on the streets lead to. Now it's clapping, it's cheering, is welcoming ICE with open arms, and some people are even like signing up to join it. You know, signing up to join ICE. I mean, it's a complete and utter joke. We all know what time it is. You know, we all know what time it is, and there are some people that are starting to see it, but most people, just when you think you get a few people wake up, you'll get the ones who you thought were woken up go back to sleep. You know, I literally saw somebody say, I have not played the political game, never really been into politics or nothing like that. But ever since Charlie Kirk, man, I had to choose a side. I had to choose a side. I'm like, oh my God, it's working like a charm. Working like a charm. So it's working like a charm. And again, the world is laughing, is not laughing, is pointing fingers, it's got sour taste in the mouth. You know, the world is watching, and it's bad. It's bad. But meanwhile, you have um, these BRICS nations, right, that we've heard of for a long time, the Belt and Road initiatives that are all triangulating and formulating everything around the United States not being that superpower anymore. And that day's going to come. I mean, sooner than later, they could only hold this boat up a little bit longer. It's not going to be much longer. Um, but you know, nobody knows. But it's evident and clear that it's all coming down. And the only thing you could do is plan accordingly. That's it. I keep telling people you're not going to be fighting next to your greatest truther, right? You're not going to be standing up with your AR-15 and going up at the White House or whatever your truther New World Order fantasy movie crap dream is. That ain't happening. I've been told y'all, if they was scared of your guns, you wouldn't have them. They don't care about your guns because they know they're not using your guns because they know they propagate everything to make you not be able to use your gun. So they're not worried about your guns. You can keep them. They don't care. They know you're not going to use them. They know you better than you know yourself. They know you ain't going to use them. They know you'll give that gun up when they say it's time to give that gun up. Nobody's firing a shot, okay? There may be a small pockets of resistance, but if they wanted to take them, they're going to take them, and ain't nothing the majority going to do about it. Now, there'll be people that'll be going out with a blaze of glory, of course, but the majority of people, they ain't about that life. That ain't going to happen, all right? I was arguing with somebody today about patriots, right? These people think there's people that think they're patriots because they wave a flag, you know, march with signs, you know, think they know what's going on, blaming the left, you know, there's the Trump rhetoric, conservative, patriot, trash, Republican garbage nonsense, right? That those people think they're patriots. They have the propagated patriot agents on the TV that they think are patriots. But I had to let them know. Y'all would never even see a fucking patriot. Y'all don't know what patriots even are because patriots they don't even rock with y'all. They don't care about y'all. They're not in, they know what not, they don't like Donald Trump because they know what Donald Trump is. I'm sitting there arguing with a patriot. They're trying to tell me, yeah, you know, patriots love Trump. How you going to say that? You don't know what a patriot is. One, they don't even live amongst us. True patriots don't live among us. That's why I wish Wise was here. You know, come on, man, please, cuts. That's Don't stop mentioning this guy's name on my channel, man. I mean, I don't care about these people, man. Please, you know, I get it, but nah, I don't, I don't want none of that. Let's just stay on the topic. I mean, it's the problem, you know. I get it. Cuts. I know you always mean well, but I don't. Ah, so you know, but like I said, I wish my brother Wise would jump on this train because he knows true patriots and he understands exactly what I'm talking about. You know, he knows what I'm talking about when it comes to these patriots. All right, they're not even gonna. I'm arguing with people that they would never be around. You'll be a liability to them. They don't want. They're not on the internet. They're not boasting America. Yeah, they're not doing none of that. They don't even fly the same American flag. They fly the one that you think is a racist flag. or they don't fly no flag. They just understand the principles of the United States. They fly that brown piece of paper. They already know their country's been taken over back with and in the Nixon era and before that. All right, seriously, you know, seriously. So I've been I was arguing with these people that think they know what a patriot is, this and that. I'm like, they don't live around us. They don't live amongst us. They live way out in the middle of nowhere, not around nobody but the people they rock with. If you ever, you know, been in the off-grid communities, those people, 90% of them, they're not into the political verbiage garbage. You come to that understanding and you don't play the game, you know? And I know you guys already know this, you know? Y'all already know this. Seriously. I mean, seriously. So, the people, there are people that already know. They don't believe in your political bull crap. And the reason why I'm talking about it, because I'm sending this to some of these groups that be screaming this stupid rhetoric garbage, not realizing they are the left. It's the communist goal number 15. All right. It's take control of one party or both parties, making them one party. All right. They've done that. That was in 1963. They literally done that, man. War of 1812. Yeah. I mean, this is just crazy that these people that have just flipped, and how they turn a new leaf with so many other people, and how people are just cheering on a non-governmental agency, right? Which is a de facto, ICE is a de facto agency, man. It's a de facto it's a de facto agency operating under administrative statutes. Okay? It's not a constitutional government agency. You know? It's crazy, man. And yeah, you try to educate these people, but again, they're still locked on this heroism belief, and I get it. Movies, TVs, and you just propaganda that got you believing in all this hero crap. You're looking for a hero. Look in the mirror. You're the hero. Surprise. When you realize that, you know, it's crazy. When you realize that, I mean, it's just obvious. But what's so obvious to some is far from obvious to others, you know? And yeah, man. And literally, I was just in Times Square, going through Times Square. Traffic was backed up, and I actually witnessed a protest coming through. Should have seen the amount of people. Okay, and it didn't look like the police were like. I mean, look, the police looked like they were in the march. It was the weirdest thing ever. I might post a video, I might not, but I got the video. But I'm literally watching. I'm like, wait a minute, and you should. I swear, the Palestinian flag was literally a block long. Like I've never seen a flag that big. I've seen an American flag that big, but you know, I mean, this flag was massive, and I'm thinking to myself, like, who made that flag? And that's why people don't understand that. You know, these people that are out here that are screaming all this patriotic stuff, they believe that the left is the enemy. But just like the left believes that the right is the enemy, and that's exactly what they want you to believe. Because as long as we're fighting each other, right? Those are the pawns. As long as the pawns fight, they can make moves in the background. You know. So think about it. So yeah, I saw that, and I was like, I saw that, and I was like, yo, this is crazy. Like literally, I'm like, man, this is crazy. All those people, and it was, man, I could not. It was so many people, and the police were like, they weren't like walking, they were like walking, marching. Well, it was weird. They were like with them. It was like weird. I don't know. Just some very weird, weird stuff. You know, very weird. But and that's what these people are up against that believe in these political ideologies, right? They're up against what we've seen for so many years and been calling out. You don't stand a chance against that because these people are demonically possessed. Okay, a lot of people are gonna catch that the Kirk demon. All right, a lot of people are gonna get that on the right and the conservatives and one that believe the left are the enemies. A lot of them are gonna adopt the same exact energy, and it's not gonna be good. Okay, it ain't gonna be good. But again, all of this is being done deliberately. All right, and it's to get the same objective. All right. I mean, we already got, the ICE agents on they're out. They're out. They're there. That's what they wanted. They got them. They're in here. You're accepting them. You're cheering for it. You're thanking them for it. You're joining them. Okay. Everyone's like, yeah. And then the news stories keep popping up. Oh, an illegal did this, an illegal did that, an illegal did this. Right? The news is complicit on it because they're misclassifying illegal versus undocumented. They have not let the people understand what the law is on this whole thing. They never let the people understand that ICE is an actual de facto agency and not a hand of the government. Okay, it's a wing of the representative democracy, which for some reason, you know, people that voted for Trump believe they voted for a republic when clearly it's a representative democracy, and you could see it every executive order that gets signed. Why do you think they make the executive orders a spectacle and make you pay attention? Because you believe that's law for the future, right? You believe that's the law by him signing executive orders. That's what it is, executive order. And they did this with Biden. They did this all, Obama. No, and again, they're going to sign executive orders. And we've been programmed to believe that those were laws and rules and regulations we had to follow. All right. No, those are actually void. All right. I mean, you can even read the case law on a lot of those executive orders and read what they state in it to make them void. All right. They tell you, show you the formula how those are void. All right. I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, I just can't. I mean, it's not even. They don't even hide it anymore. You know. They think that Trump is some Christian. He said in plenty of his things that he's not a Christian. During his inauguration, he did not put his hand on the Bible this time because he's not there to swear. He's not gonna go again. He's not gonna bust a spell. All right, he's not gonna invoke the wrong energies. He couldn't put his hand on that Bible. You know, he couldn't do it. And these people they don't see it. You know. And then other people are like, well, they should see it through the whole Epstein. I'm like, man, come on, that shouldn't even be a thing. Like, we shouldn't even have to talk about that. So, you know, so let me know if y'all can hear me. The government or control of society is industry by elite experts, failure, expected, application tax. Yeah, Yeah, and that's another thing is most people don't even understand or know or care what system we live in. They think they think there's a president and he's saving the country and I gotta rock out with him and I gotta protect him and he's doing good things. And every time I say, whoa, listen, I'll come down, lay down in your politic games. What has he done? He's done a lot of things. What? The illegals. That's all they got to say. The illegals and gas is a little bit cheaper and eggs are down. Like, seriously, like, this is what they say. I mean, and everything else would be about outside the scope of that. Because I'll say, look, don't mention, the de facto ICE agency, right? Don't mention gas price and eggs. What has he done? Because I'm going to pretend like I'm one of y'all. And they just glitched out crickets. Nothing. They can't even muster up anything to say. I mean, literally, it's what, some of us been doing to the left for so many years. Like, question them on their bullshit, and they can't answer a single goddamn question. Nothing. You know? They have no answer when you say, why didn't he swear on the Bible? They have no answer when you tell them, hey, look, remember when Trump said this? They have no answer. And so anything he does, they ride with him. That's it. Can't say nothing. You know? It's crazy, man. But people will wake up, even though it is too late. Hence the title of my video. I mean, there's nothing we gonna do to stop what they got coming. All right. Because if there's something that's planned to be destructed, okay, not by like, you know, oh, they're destroying it to create something else. No, they know it's over for this era. They already know it. So they have heavily invested in the other era. And as far as the country goes, left it idle, left it to running the crapper with its people, right? So now they got to make you look dangerous. They got to make you look unstable. They got to make you look crazy because when it collapses, what the world is going to see, okay? All those people are going to be like, yeah, they ain't coming over here. They're not coming over here with that mess. And that's where your digital ID falls in play. You don't got to ask for the digital ID. You don't got to deny the digital ID. You already got it in your hand. I'm talking on the digital ID right now, you know? And I'm not no party pooper, Manny Scooper. I mean, it is what it is. It's just done, you know? I mean, is it a bad thing? Hell, I don't think so, you know? But it's done. It's just done. It's just whenever, I mean, it is what it is. We're Kmart still trying to operate as Kmart when you got Walmart, Target, Amazon, eBay, and everything in between. We still trying to put on a blue light special. That blue light special been long gone. We'll get one sale in the blue light special here and there, but it's over. Kmart gonna have to shut his doors and let the next player come in, and Kmart could just be in the, you know, be in the cut. You know, that's what people don't want to face. Oh, our military is too strong and this and that. I'm like, man, not y'all don't know, y'all don't know, y'all don't look at the soldiers when they come back here and they ain't got a knife. How you defending the current country and you come back to the country and you ain't even got a knife in your pocket? You done flew the most dangerous equipment known to mankind, and you come home and you walk these streets, you know, during your visits home, and you ain't got a pocket knife. That's some wild shit. It should be when they come home. I mean, the police roll out the red carpet. The police give them a escort places. If that's how the military was truly ran, I wouldn't care. Hey, come home with your M14 carbine. You know, drive your tank home too. I wouldn't care. I'd feel, hey, look, we feel safe around this mother effort. We know who's boss. You defending the country. I mean, you defending the country. You deserve to bring your rocket launcher home. Sleep with it beside your bed. I don't care. You defending the country. That's so we was told, but we know they was fighting banker wars, and people just don't want to admit it. Don't want to admit it. Want to make up a belief. Gotta look at these BRICS nations, man. I mean, there'd be 100. I told you there'd be like 20 microphones. There's nothing from mainstream media. Nothing. They're not telling the American people about, you know, what what the BRICS and the Belt and Road could potentially. Let's just say potentially lead to. They won't. I could say, you could say potentially, but they're not coming out and tell you, well, look, y'all in deep shit. We ain't got no answers. Look, our Trans-Pacific Partnership failed. Uh, our what's the other one? Our Build BBB, Build Back Better failed. Right, all our programs failed. Our transatlantic partnership failed. The TAP failed. All right, but we did get the text. I mean, the Tex Canada agreement. We did do that. I mean, seriously, it's crazy. So people don't understand, man. You're getting set up, man. So yeah, let me know if y'all can still hear me loud and clear. Again, shout out to all you guys rocking out 10 o'clock at night. But funny because McKinsey and company are involved in the BRICS. Yeah, man. Every large corporation is in the BRICS. Like the New World Order, the World Economic Forum. Man, you look at it. It was a skit, guys. It's a skit. They played us, man. When you pull back, you realize, like, yo, we got played to make it was something when they're doing something else, man. You got to look at what they've been doing, man. World Economic. They got an economic forum, right? Economic forum, right? But through propaganda for truthers and all that other stuff, they pitched us this whole other idea. But when you actually look at the World Economic Forum, you're like, yo, this is kind of like a giant social service, all right? Like another United Nations in a sense, right? Like they could formulate out of this, right? To be a player inside of what they got built. And they're gonna run it along the lines of say, hey, well, look, A, B, C, and D and E, and we can help with our end on this and producing this and making 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 this because they already know they're not going to be a player. Because if you look at the BRICS, I mean not the BRICS, if you look at the World Economic Forum, they never talked about the military. They never talked about being involved with militaries. They maybe talked about like some technologies and certain things like that, but look at what they're talking about. Think about it, man. Go back and look at that World Economic Forum stuff again. But let me know if y'all can hear me. Make sure you guys can hear me because we're riding through the mountains. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Okay, thanks. So again, when you look at it, you're like, man, we got played, and then you look at it, oh, it's called the World Economic Forum. Like they're pitching what they got to. You got to look at it, man. Look at who's involved. Look at the region they're talking about, right? And then think about it. They're pitching to the world what they got to offer, right? Without the Americans, without the American like fantasy, the American way. And then Trump comes in, he plays this role with the World Economic Forum, but he went over there. Look, I'm with y'all. I'm rocking out with y'all. Like we're good. Like we're not even. We all good. It's them. It's there. I gotta go. I gotta control my little minions, and it's gotta be. Hey, it's going. It is what it is. You know. People don't understand. They don't understand it, man. You pull back, you can see it clearly. It's demolition time, man. They got the everything wired. They just gotta get all the charges in the right spot for that controlled demolition. And they gotta make you, right? They gotta make you out to be the bad. So you can't come over in their system. If you do, you better have your digital ID, but even better, you better be in line with the perimeters because we're going to say yay or nay because you may be a threat. So if you don't have all your vaccinations, right? All your vacations, right? If we can't check your social media because apparently, this is what this is what Americans, sorry, I don't mean to disrespect Americans. This is what US citizens have been demanding, right? Yay, ICE, yay, ICE, yay. Oh, let me check your social media. Let's monitor social media. Wait, Border Patrol going through social media? Yeah, going right through your phones. Come on, man. People don't understand. You know? People don't understand. You just have standing. We can call it a social credit score, but it's just a standing. I mean, it's what the AI is for. The AI is your going to be the agent. It's going to be the agent for the digital ID. I mean, it's going to tell you, what's inappropriate. You're not going to be able to even get past certain things. It's going to give you errors. You know, you'll be putting timeouts, suspensions, all kind of stuff, man. It's going to be a wadoozy. And this is what I be telling people. I'm like, I've been, back battling. I've been battling these rightists since they all, since I've seen the brainwashing. It all started when the Donnie switched over, and then they immediately, they're always gonna call each side calls you the other side. It's just how they think. It's backwards thought. It's no rational thinking whatsoever. So, but yeah, man, it's just wicked to see all this stuff right in front of our face, and not, you know, ain't nothing you could do but to see everybody playing a part in it. It's pretty crazy. People you thought knew better, it's even worse. It's crazy. Yeah, exactly. Like I said, I told him, I said, how you gonna drain the swamp with the same swamp water? It don't work. You know, people are crazy, man. Yeah. And then shout out to all my local people who do, who do try things. I mean, even though I don't agree with it, I mean, it's something, but I just hope some of the brothers in there are using it to gain, a following because, and I'm talking about, I did a stream the other day, but I deleted it. It was like not getting no views. It was like seriously caught in the algorithm, so I deleted it. But it was like there's this bridge protest that's been going on, and it was started with like the No Kings crap. Y'all all seen the No Kings crap, right? Rochester is a monkey see, monkey do, monkey see, monkey do city. But this is like this, no kings on the bridge, like rhetoric. Then it turned into, a guy I know that's said, thank you, ICE. And you already know I don't rock out with none of that crap. But people got a right to believe and do whatever they want. If I want to go there to document what's happening, that's what I do. And when I went, I had some good reactions to some people, and it was actually really really nice, you know, to be able to talk. And that's how we're supposed to be doing everything, but they have programmed people otherwise. But anyways, so this bridge has been a topic, a hot topic in the Rochester area. And they had another one today. Okay, that was they were planning it all week, and it kind of provoking each other, both sides provoking each other, and they've been going back and forth on the bridge, and just mind numbing, ultra, you know, and I mean, even though I don't agree with it, but it's cool. I mean, if people feel empowered, I mean, it's a good thing that they're empowered by something, believing in something, even if it's not what I understand and know, more power to you. Everybody's got a right to do it. I would like to be there to document it, talk to both sides, try to, you know, drop some jewels, neutralize that demon and stuff like that. Because being I used to, be out doing that all the time, document that crap. So I've been in a long time. But anyways, so they did a bridge gathering today, in the rain. They had, uh, provocateurs coming up. Uh, and I told them for it. I said, yo, look, I mean, this is what they look. They look to provoke, right? Try to get you to react so you can get in trouble. They know what they're doing. So they had it, and people came out. There was somebody tried to provoke them. You know, and thankfully they, you know, didn't react. But these people came. They're bad shit. You know, bad shit crazy. The one guy came in, tried to provoke them and pushing and getting in their face, cursing at them. He's got a Save Trans Kids shirt on. I mean, this is psychopathy on other levels, okay? And I already told them, look, man, y'all, I told them, look, they don't believe me when I say it's spiritual. They said, look, this is spiritual warfare. Y'all, hey, it looks physical, but it's a spiritual war, all right? Y'all got to remain neutral. You neutralize that, that energy. So they did well. But anyways, one of them came, did all that, didn't amount to nothing. But the wrong person would have, you know, probably would have knocked him clean out, and then the person would have went to jail, and then it would have been they would have got what they wanted. Somebody reacted. Look, they harmed me. Oh my God, look, they're crazy. They're lunatics. Just all what they want. You know. So that was basically their thing. Then the news came out, but when I saw which news it was, I was like, oh, be interested in how they spin that story. They spun one of my stories out, and I live streamed the entire event. And that's when they tried to accuse me of throwing rocks at their reporter, and actually posted a video of me saying, because I looked the most intimidating out of all of the people at the protest back in BLM days, right? Because I just go document the whole thing, right? It was the wildest thing I ever did. But because I was more well prepared than anybody out there, I looked the most intimidating. All right. They used that and said that I'll never forget, they said the ironclad, was seen throwing rocks and we had to duck for cover. And when I sent them that demand letter, it told them, uh, you do know there's an 8-hour live stream that shows the exact opposite, that shows me actually almost covering you guys and helping you guys get out of Dodge. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's what you're talking about? And they pulled the story. But anyways, um, that's the news station that came out there. So I'm like, oh, go figure. Same one that works for the same people, right? But anyways, so yeah, this whole bridge standoff thing goes down, and there's arguing and just testosterone flexing. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's literally illogical, makes no sense, and is totally 100%, stupid. The only thing that's a plus out of it is you get a good eye on you, all right? So that part I do get. And one of the brothers that's his whole objective, is to get a bigger phone, because he really does good work. All right. I don't really think he's into this whole, thing. Because this thing is thank you ice. I'm not with that. You know, we know what time it is. But yeah, it was just a complete waste of time, and it doesn't make any sense. All right, because neither one of the sides are the problem. The problem is the sides are fighting over and about, and they just can't seem to figure that one out. And both sides are fighting for the same exact thing that they already have. All right. So yeah, it's pretty wild. And that's on local. I don't expect you guys to really know much about about that situation, but that's what's been going on. And they feel empowered and bold, and I'm like, yeah, okay. But I'm not a sugarcoater, so I told him straight up, like, this is the fucking dumbest thing I've ever fucking seen in my life. I said, like a bunch of 5-year-olds fighting over a swing set. I said, it's literally stupid. All right. And you're setting yourself up to get in trouble for non-patriotic garbage, right? Political bullshit that they want you to do because it keeps you away from them and them away from you. It's literally the most stupidest shit I've ever seen in my life. And both of them are doing the same thing, doing the same rhetoric, and it's just simply mind blowing. But they'll grow, hopefully. Not that it'll change the trajectory. We all can see where it's clearly headed. But nothing's going to stop it. There's no patriots, stopping ICE from, invasions of cities under the guise of immigration. There's no patriots, okay? Because unfortunately, those patriots believe that ICE is the patriots. you know. So just pretty wild stuff what's going on. And again, the 14th is this week, so that demon's going to be fully birthed. All right. And also that guy that I told you that came to that bridge protest, right? And this, see, this is me. I already know this stuff, and I already know what I'm doing. So one of the people posts a picture of him in a group and shows him. I mean, he's bisexual. I don't care about anybody's sexual orientation. They're like, look at his tattoo, and I zoomed in on a tattoo, and I'm like, damn, okay, well, I already knew that anyway. But I mean, this is proof. And sometimes you shock yourself when you know already what you're dealing with. The guy had a huge Baphomet statue on his back. And this is the guy that came up there to provoke them to hit him. That is the demon. That is the demon energy. All right. Its course is violence with non-violence. Their motto is violence with the non-violence approach. Okay. They want to invoke violence, but they're not going to perpetuate the violence. All right. This is demonology. Demonology, guys. I mean, this is what is the whole objective. These people will do anything for that entity, okay? But what they do is, you got to remember, if a energy is embodied with another energy, when it gets another energy beside it, what does it want to do? All right, think about it. I mean, in and out, out and in is out, and out and in. So when that energy embodied these people, right, and they embraced it, and that's what they live by, it ain't no political shit no more. Okay? It's not political anymore. It ain't no ideology. This is total demonic possession. All right. And if you people don't understand this, why I wish my brother Wise was here, man, so he can go in and go ham on this topic and bust it down on levels that I can't articulate it, but I know he could put it into complete and utter words and fashion that you can, I mean, literally get the whole gist of it, right? But this dude comes out there with this energy, right? That energy that's in him is demonic, right? And you see it's the duality, right? So it's moving in both directions, okay? So when it sees an adversary, it's trying to invoking. What it's doing is it's invoking, right? That same entity that it already has in you, out of you, to create that explosion. All right. Because what it's looking for is that its own energy inside of you. So when you see it coming with rage and anger, and you come with it, you're feeding it. You're feeding that entity, and it's about to have a field day with your spirit because it's going to turn you upside down. Because that energy, all right, is going to make you react without thinking, right? That's why I said you got to stay grounded, stay neutral, because then it can't touch you. I mean, it's energy 101, you know? It's not going to be able to touch you. I mean, trust me, I've been out there with these people, man. I've looked this thing in its eyes too many times, man. You know? I walked away from an entire relationship because it done jumped to it, just jumped into something else, you know? I'm like, oh, what? Man, I'm gone. Light speed, man. Out of here. See ya. Gone like the wind, you know? But this is what we dealing with. What's good, Flint? And anybody else that's up on here, shout out to all you got. Hey, you know, I'm going a little bit deep, but this is what we all got to. I always tell y'all: check your bed, check your house, check your neighbors, check your neighborhood, check your town, village, parish, uh, city, state, because these people are all around us. They're all around us, man, and all they got to do is push that right button, boom, and they coming out. That's a straight fact. That is a straight fact. Okay. All they got to do is put out some political propaganda, shoot, and you might body it. It might signal, right? Sending signals. So yeah, man. This was in my own local area. You know, after I just got done telling these people before they went what to look for. You know, as soon as I seen her roll up, you can see the demons in her eyes, man. There was some women that rolled up. You could see their eyes are darkened, man. The one guy that came up there, you could see he's dark. I mean, every sign is there. You see these people, man. Remember Demon Face? They came out with that news article. Oh, Demon Face. People are claiming they see demons, and this could be a. No, man. They're telling their people that look. The ones that know can see y'all. Tone it down a little bit. Remember all that? They've been quiet, guys. They've been quiet. You know. Think about it. You know. They're like, look, man. Be quiet. Demon Face. And that turns on the energy in them. They're like, yo, these people can see us. They calling us like when they went to that bridge. Come on, man. I mean, that's their territory. Trolling. Bridge. Come on, that's their territory. You going into their territory, right? Yeah, man, it's real. It's real. Very real. You know. And again, the people not gonna understand, man. They're just not gonna get it. It'll click later. It'll click way later. But y'all know I've been out there. I've been out there. So, and this stuff goes deep, man, because there's a lot of energy out there. You know, women now in hold on one second. Women now in the very first conversation these days ask what kind of liquor. Seriously, they really do that? That's crazy. Glad I ain't got to deal with that. That's why you get somebody that don't know nothing about politics and don't care about nothing to do with politics and don't want nothing to do with politics, aka get away from anybody that's American minded. All right. And I've been told y'all a long time ago. I don't. I mean, I'm. Just like I was telling the patriots about true patriots. You know. You not. You don't. I mean, them people will get you killed, man. You know. That's why you got to stay in your own lane, be your own self. You don't rock out with no. You don't need to rock out with no groups or nothing like that. You could be united with people, right? Told you not unity. Don't be with the unity garbage. Be united. Meaning, look, I'm here. This is my foundations, but I fuck with you. So I rock out with you. But I got my foundation. You got your foundation. I got my beliefs. You got your beliefs. But the objective is clear. Okay? I'm over here. You over there. Right? We got the same objectives though. So your hand in my hand. Not with the unity stuff. They taught us unity. I'm not with that. So So yeah, man, a lot of craziness going on. You know, and then you know what, and also, changing the tone a little bit. The auditing stuff. They're gonna shut that down real soon. All right, they're already getting ready, and I've been told y'all a long time ago. Again, shout out to my brother Erie County. Auditing Erie County does crazy. He does it the right way. Um, also my brother Fake Mike Real News and other people obviously. But I was watching, just happened to watch some Direct D. And I really don't like Direct D. I've told him plenty of times I don't even like you, man. You know, I don't like your tactics or whatever. But he said something real yesterday. He was like, I'm not no auditor. He's like, they getting ready to come for us. They're ready to shut this shit down. All right, they're making laws, on top of laws on top of law. And he said, you ain't gonna do a motherfucking thing when they do it. You ain't gonna do shit. You're gonna get loud. You're gonna get mad. You're gonna turn in just like all those other people out there, you know, screaming and shouting. You ain't gonna do shit. And he's 1000% right. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing. And I told him that. I dropped a comment, told him that, and he gave it a nice big thumbs up and like. Real recognize real. I said, I don't like your antics. I don't like how you do shit. And it is what it is. But that's some real shit you said right there, you know? And again, that's how it is to be united. And that's something that it's ironic. The thing that we should be doing is the thing that's going to destroy us. We should be united, but we're not. So just like the great saying says, united we stand, divided we fall. You know? What can they do about all of those longer than that? Oh no, they're gonna shut that shit down. They already got the laws. Everything that the auditors do, they already got code, statutes, laws, and case laws to eliminate it. I made videos years ago about that. People will be mad. I mean, they're gonna do it. Is it tyrannical? Yeah, but they gotta go tyrannical. Okay, they're gonna go tyrannical. I mean, always the whole objective's been you got to keep the people divided and you got to keep the police divided. So the auditing is pushed to keep that barrier, right? Because you can't have the people getting along with the cops because the cops might start thinking, you know what, these crazy people over here are starting to make too much sense. So they got to play both sides. And that's what they do. Look at the cop shows. What do you think those are for? You think when all them cop shows are on just for like sheep flock entertainment? No, man, that's programming. Because if you actually look at one of them shows, they're programming both sides. All right. If you're a cop watching that, you're pro because they cater the show to you. Okay. So you feel that emotion. People can't take them sides out of people cannot take themselves out of their own perception of their own mind. That's why they can't think in these ways, right? I could think in these ways. I could take myself out. I could sit down, boom, I could watch a cop like, look at it, damn, they programming both sides at the same time. Like, if you're a cop, imagine you're a cop watching this. Now imagine you're not a cop watching this. Boom. You got to be able to see both angles. You know? So I mean, it's just like how they do the people at the protests, right? I mean, this is how they're going to do the orders, just hands down. They're going to do this, you know? And it's unfortunate, but I've been told y'all, look, they're getting ready to they could shut the shit down, all right? And they needed the police. If you thought they were defunding the police, you were highly mistaken. Just like I tell those rightists and those conservatives and Trump supporters, I said, look, they wasn't never if you don't understand this nation, what it's about control and an entire police state. So if you think for 1 minute that they're getting rid of police and defunding the police, you've been highly mistaken when 3 years ago All right. Trump said out of his own mouth, okay, that not Trump, sorry. The bill, there was a bill, I forgot what bill it was that went into effect. All right. Not went into effect that, but a bill that was submitted, okay, that was dubbed the largest bill to allocate funds ever in the history of the United States, and it was for police powers. All right. And then what did Trump come in and do? He signed it. Okay. He signed it. You know, think about it. So, you know, Direct D said this the other day. He's got 300 something thousand followers. And he's spot on. He already know. And he said, I ain't no auditor. I was just doing this because A, B, C, D, and E. You know? So I'm talking about the TV shows that been on for years. And it's not an algorithm. That's deliberately manufactured and done, through TV. Like all those Law and Order, all those cop shows. I mean, tons of them. Movies too. If you're a cop and you watch that, you have a whole different perception of a reality than people who are not a cop. And this is done deliberately. People always say, oh, watch movies and, look at this truth in the movie. Y'all better watch out because, they play both sides. They play both sides. They give you all this truth. Yeah, look at that. You don't understand what they're doing, guys. We're dealing with some deep, dark sorcery, you know? Deep, deep, dark sorcery. So, you know, um, back to that line of defense, right? They got to keep us divided. All right. They just, it says what it is, man. So, what else I was going to? Was something else I was going with that, but kind of went off into the other field and I forgot where I was going with it. Um, uh, I forgot. So I had a cop interaction too. I got a video of it, actually, a decent video. But yeah, they're gonna, that's their plan. And again, they gotta go this way because it's about the police state, you know. And believe me, when they want something over, they're gonna they're gonna get it over. They got the right man in the house to do the job because people clap for all the tyrannical crap, that's going on. You know, this whole illegals thing. ICE in Chicago, literally downtown, like chasing people on a bike. Like seriously, that supposedly, allegedly shot a woman, and then provoked it. I mean, this is wild stuff, man. We're literally watching. And again, like I said, there is no patriots around because what people think patriots are are on the same side. Ain't that crazy? So if just saying, so what if I'm right? I mean, I know I'm right about it, but when they stroke that pen and Donnie strokes that pen, and then these ice ages turn into going force this, and they're like, oh no, da, 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 da. And then people like, well, this is what you asked for, you know? You asked for it. I mean, you didn't say nothing when we were rounding up illegals. I mean, they got a right to due process, don't they? Oh yeah, they got a right to due process, don't they? No, they're illegals. They got to get out of here. You know, wild stuff, man. Wild stuff. Wild stuff. So again, though, shout out to all you guys clocking their moving close together, right? Like my brother Truth Virus says, you know, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. And again, I mentioned this last stream. There is another auditor out there test that is showing what I've been telling y'all for so long about this weed shit, this GMO, just low vibrational ass crap garbage weed that people think they're getting high. Look, do whatever. Shit ain't doing nothing but creating anxiety in your ass to go back and get more. But there is this auditing channel out there. It's like it's up there with one of my favorites. You know, everybody got their own thing they do, but this dude showing the mentality of the people that are all around us, man. It's pretty scary and it's alarming. Okay, it's pretty scary and alarming. And the channel is auditing. Wait, hold on. It's First Amendment Protection Agency, FAPA. I mean, check that channel out. What's good, Angel Z? Shout out to you, Angel Z. Good to see you. All right, you have my comments showing on the screen. But it's FAPA. I mean, he's showing just by standing outside of a dispensary in public with a camera. Right? He's showing how people act and how people, man, it's bad, guys. It's bad. That's why I tell you this place is done. It's done. Okay? And it's done by the people. All right? The people are too far gone. They did a job that I don't think they knew they could accomplish. Okay. I mean, it is what it is, you know. But it's First Amendment Protection Agency. Check. You actually, I enjoy watching his videos too, just like I enjoy auditing Erie County's videos, you know. But he's showing, all right, the mentality of the people. He's also showing the rhetoric from the people, and also cops, as cops roll up on the scene too. He puts them in checkmate every time, right? But more importantly, showing y'all the weed smokers, okay? And a lot, not everybody, there's some cool people, you know, stuff like that. But I'm just telling you, what's in that shit? I mean, I know I'm just, you know, hypothetically, you know, people should be doing a reality check when they're smoking that GMO, you know, because it ain't doing nothing for you. All right. It's creating everything you think it's not doing, it's actually doing. You know, and when you see how these people act, you're like, yo, this is crazy. This is crazy, man. And these are people that are going to a dispensary, so they believe they have a right to smoke pot, right? And they don't, but they don't think a man has a right to stand in public with a phone out recording. Meanwhile, they give up their ID when they go in there. All right, they've got registered, insured cars in there with plates on them that are all in public view, right? And then the place itself has, you know, a million cameras inside. I mean, seriously, his stuff is mind blowing. All right, especially he does a great job at showing the logic, and he does an even better job at, you know, some instances neutralizing that negative energy. Like when people pull out a camera, he says, thank you for joining in. And I knew you were, you know, he does a really good job at flipping it around, you know. And then he does a good job when people pull up and ask, what are you doing? If they ask him in the right tone, he'll say, "Oh, I'm out here doing a stress test on the First Amendment activity, First Amendment, and educating people on, the First Amendment, not whatever, the somewhere along the lines of those words." And then he'll quickly say, "Do you believe in the First Amendment of the Constitution?" And then they'll be glitched out for a second, and I'll say, yeah." He goes, "Thank you, thank you, thank you. I knew you did." It's like, "I appreciate it." And then they're left there, because they wanted to talk shit, but he neutralized it, alchemized it, and put it back at him. That's what you got. That's a gift that you got to learn to do. You could alchemize that, right? Because the demon's only going to take over the weak, right? That's what they're going to do, you know? Like I told the people on the bridge, well, yeah, on the bridge that, I mean, it is what it is, but you're actually doing what they want you to do, you know? So, yeah. So, yeah, I'm twisting and turning and going around and around. Oh, you quit? You didn't smoke no more? You feel much better, right? Yeah, a lot of people that quit and they feel a lot better, more clear, more relaxed, because that stuff has very high THC levels, man. And people don't understand. They think the more potent, the more high you get. No, it's the opposite. It's the more low you get. Turns you off, you know. They're like, "Oh, you never smoke weed. How do you know?" Bitch, because I research. Motherfucker, it doesn't take rocket science to research. You mean to tell me I gotta smoke some shit to understand? Seriously. Most people that talk about anything haven't even done anything. So if I gotta do that, then people should just shut the fuck up totally because it doesn't make any sense. I mean, it doesn't take any kind of skills to research this shit. And it don't take any kind of skills to notice people who smoke it and how they act and react and the befores, the afters, everything in between. And it really doesn't take any kind of science to figure that shit out. You know? Exactly. Exactly. That's why they legalize it. Because it makes a docile, right? Obedient, okay? Lazy minded fucking person. It just does, man. It keeps people low. Like, they ain't gotta worry about them. Give them a gun and weed. They'll be lucky to get a bullet in the gun, let alone use it, rationalize thoughts to use it to shoot somebody. That ain't gonna happen, you know? And it opens yourself up for the other stuff, that fetting, you know? It's crazy, man. Oh, man. THC ain't no chemical, man. I mean, just because man calls it a chemical, you know? What they have did is they have transmuted, all right, and cultivated a plant that isn't the original. All right. Instead of it having its lower properties grown under dirt, sun, rain, earth, right? Get that telluric energy from the earth, right? That shit's grown in a under false light with chemicals, right? Tap water or whatever other kind of water they decide to put in with chemicals in it inside without sunlight. All right. And then if it's grown out in a big crop, it's all cultivated with all kind of shit. And then it's a female, right? It's a female plant. So you start adding all these things up. It ain't what I grew up around. What's good, Brandon? It is. Man, y'all remember I did a live stream sitting out in front of the The one in Rochester just live streaming showing y'all. Look at the line. I'm like, look at the line. This is not recreational, man. And then go watch uh FAPA's streams, right? And you tell me what you see. That is a habit. That is an addiction. Those people need it to keep functioning in their irrational, idiotic, lunacy ass ways. Because that's all it's doing. Because you see how these people react? Loose cannons, you know? And they all pulling up in the same cars that, you know, all the liberal style cars, right? Teslas, Subarus, Priuses, Kia Souls, small Honda Fits, you know, bumper stickers everywhere, uh, Broncos, you know, all kinds of shit. You know, it's wild, man. But check out this thing, you'd be like, damn. Tell them, yeah, right, the Matrix sent you. Pretty wild stuff, man. But I talked about this for many, many years. You get THC over 25%, it's not doing, it's affecting you differently, and it's making a reaction in your body totally different. You know, slows down cognitive function, thought process, fucks up your hypothalamus gland. You know, it puts you in a low vibrational state, a low state instead of that euphoric high state it used to do. All right, and these dispensaries, they push more potent. Right, then they got people eating this shit, doing all the kind of stupid shit to it, putting it in the goddamn pipe. Uh, you know, like a vape and all kind of other dumbass shit, right? Just crazy, man. You know, crazy. That real weed, yeah, that real weed, shit, you ain't gonna find it. You know, you know how many times I done told this to so many people? They're like, man, that's why I get the real. I'm like, man, 5 minutes later, they forgot they told me that shit. They buying weed off some dumb motherfucker on the street or some stupid shit. Talking about, yeah, I get mine from you forgot what you told me last time? Come on, man. But shout out to my brother Fake Mike Reed from Real News. He was trying to quit too, but you know, he knows. He always told me when he stopped he feels way better. But like I said, it's an addiction, man. You know? It's an addiction. So but yeah, check out FAPA. I mean his videos are excellent, man. They are excellent. He puts cops in check, mutates people's energy. physically physically, you know, people come at him, you know, they hit him with the pepper spray, but he's really good at what he does and how he handles people. But what I like in it is the same reason why I like auditing Erie County is the psychology, right? See, people watch the videos and see, oh, look, the cops get old. Yeah, look, yeah, tyrant. See, I watch it for the psychological aspect, right? That's what I like to look at it for. How are people reacting to this, and what are the people like in these DMVs, in these post offices, in these certain places? Like, you know, like this is what I'm looking at. I'm observing the population. I'm like organic AI analyzing shit around me. You know, one day I just stopped. That's what's up. That's good. And it's what I'm saying. This thing is just come and be like, you know what? I ain't doing that no more. That's really good. Very, very good. That's very good. But yeah. So on another note, um, yeah. So what else is it? The title of the video. You know what people don't like to talk about. That we all gotta face it. You know, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, when you look at what they got in store. Not when I say they, it's not the New World Order, stupid one eye Illuminati. Like, it's not that. All right. What they got in store and what they plotted, will never, you know, will never, mm, I don't know why I said never, but what they got in store, um, it's not what we've been told. It's not what we've been propagated with all the other stuff. And the elites, everybody, they're all one world government. No, sorry, just a whole new system. That's it. All right, it's a whole new system, and it's not one government gonna control it all. Just look at what they're setting up. That ain't it. All right, that ain't it. And because you couldn't beat them, you got to join them. You know, and it's all the Jesuits. They're all the Jesuits. That rhetoric. Shit. We I wonder why it's been pushed. Wonder why it's been pushed. Because this ain't it, and that ain't that. That ain't what they doing. All right. We know they're destroying the United States deliberately. We know Trump is in there to make that happen, right? Because he's heavily invested in the BRICS nations, okay? But he's going to be heavily invested with the same people that are invested with those nations are going to be invested with rebuilding whatever's left here, okay? That ain't never going to be a superpower again, okay? Because remember, it was only a corporate superpower. Think about it. It wasn't a country superpower. It was a corporate superpower who ruled with the barrel of a gun. Okay. Do you see the United Kingdom invading anybody? No. Do you see the USSR invading anybody? No. Well, Russia. No, it's not the same thing, right? People don't understand, man. People don't understand at all. Like, we've been sold. We've been sold out to the from the corporation. Sorry about that. Let me know if you can hear me. So Yeah, we've been sold down the river. I got to put up my disclaimer for all the people who magically stumble on my channel or something in a minute. But damn, it's raining hard. Oh, whoop, mm, oops. Hold on, guys. Sorry. Sorry about that. Um, so yeah, it's gotta, it's gonna happen. When nobody knows. But only thing you could do, and what I do is I watch like certain things that they got going on, and the things that let us know that they're moving, they're upticking things is uh, this ice mobilization in cities. Okay, for me, and I know my brother Wise said that too. It's extremely alarming. Um, all right, because we know they're not there for illegals. I mean, that's just it's almost common sense when you really know what's going on. Damn, it's raining pretty damn hard out. So, that's one thing that I'm looking at. Okay, and the other thing is what's happening in the rest of the world, as far as like what happened in South Africa. Um, like you could see like the desperation from the United States, interests, right? You can see how desperate they're getting, and pulling out of countries, changing their tone. Um, the Israel thing, the change in Israel's, stop. All of a sudden, the world's calling you a bully. Nobody wants to deal with you. You know, uh, warmonger. And then you come out and say you warn Israel's, to stop bombing the Gaza or whatever the hell I saw a few days ago, which was somewhere along those lines. That right there shows me like, yo, man, like, I mean, they inching closer, they're inching closer, inching closer, inching closer, and pay attention. You know, I'm gonna say 100 times for Mateo. so he can drop lunatic repeated comments on the channel. Oh, you say you know. People have watched the whole 2 hours, all you got to say. He always has some smart ass shit to say anyway. But it is what it is. You know, yeah, I hit the wrong truther button on him, I guess. You know. You know, you know. But yeah. Those are the things that I look at now. I mean, the other side is whatever they do that's out of the norm that affects the people is another thing that I'm worried about, because we saw a glimmer of that during COVID. The panic, the desperation, the worrying, the craziness that ensued in people's houses, you know, by being stuck with each other and, you know, all the other shit. So now imagine when their way of life gets taken again, okay? But not only again, but their whole life get changed because of the global financial shift, okay? Because when your dollar is running everything and it's no longer running everything, then that is the new world order. All right, just is what it is. You're not a top dog in the game anymore. You know, you are pushed down to about fourth place. Oh shit, that ain't good. You know, that ain't good. And when your own government didn't prepare you for it, there's gonna be a lot of angry people. All right, very angry. Oh, here. Uh, I just use what the hell I use. Um, I use different stuff. I don't wash it that much, so when I do, I forgot what kind of stuff I use, like uh argan type shampoo, or like this scalp natural scalp treatment like shampoo. But I don't wash it too often, so you know, unless I'm like sweating or something, then I'll wash it. But I don't wash it too much. Because you don't really got to. You don't got to wash dreads like that. So yeah, off topic. But yeah. So for this corporation, man, when it goes in its de facto status officially with that dollar that ain't worth nothing, it's gonna be dangerous, man. It's gonna be a dangerous time, extremely dangerous, because people are gonna be unstable. People are gonna go crazy. You know, people are gonna lose their minds and everything in between. All right, let me put my disclaimer on. It's gonna be a few minutes because I gotta use the bathroom, but I'll be back. I'll be back. All right, I'm back, guys. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Uh, sorry about that, guys. But yeah, do I think that there will be a war. Um uh like it has to be, you know? And it has to be to justify, bringing it all down. All right. And it kind of has to be like United States exhausting all of its resources, money, because the same thing happened to the United Kingdom. They went back. They didn't have no money after the war. So this same formula be ran again. All right, and it'll be operated as, instead of superpower nations, it will just be the corporation will be involved in, you know, making decisions and, you know, through the government and, you know, things like that. All right. But the power players will be China and Russia, of course. And the World Economic Forum is going to be some kind of, like, I don't know. They'll probably change the name, but I think that was them just boasting at, you know, their, you know, these people are the billionaires. So you never forget, Zelensky went in the World Economic Forum and said that, basically sold that country live on TV. Said the people are cheap. Wait, no, the people aren't cheap. The cheap. He said, "Come invest because you can use our cattle because they're very cheap." All right, we ain't seen no conflict. We ain't seen no nothing. I mean, what have we seen? You know, just pretty crazy, man. But what we got to be thinking of is what we gonna do. You know, what we gonna do while this transition takes place? Because it ain't gonna be. You got to remember this. It's over. Like you can't. Oh, we're gonna be like COVID and go back to normal. No, that ain't happening. It's not even a possibility. It's once it goes belly up, it's a wrap. Good night, Susie. It's never coming back. All right. Which I think in the long short run is a very good thing because it'll keep us, like I've said before, in this landmass. Okay. And basically having to rebuild from whatever systems in place. And it'll probably be Trump and the Trump family in control of the North American Union. Right. And then it'll be heavily invested in what they got going on in Asia, which is like Eurasia. Well, how do you now you're going to have a whole population. That's why I'm just saying there got to be a war and they got to eliminate a whole bunch of people on this landmass. I mean, I hate to sound like so harsh, but that's almost like what it's got to be, you know? Or they could just sell you a long, drawn out war that thins us out, which will probably be the likely. What is likely will be, look, it's war wherever they decide to set it up at. You know, uh, I don't know. I try to look at where they would go run through it, and I don't see anything as of right now, except for like the Middle East over there. Use that as a proxy, and then you just deplete yourself out. You have little things pop up inside the nation. I mean, that's where we're headed, man. How it's coming down, I don't know, but I know it's coming down. So all I give it to you is the way I see it, and by them deliberately putting us against each other and being the laughing stock of the world, I wouldn't want you to come to my country either. You know, they're propagating it all only to be used against you. You can't go over to, Ukraine. You can't go over to China now. What are you talking about? Well, they're prospering over there. What do you mean? You're not going over there. You know, but I haven't done anything. I don't believe in the political rhetoric. Well, back in 2025, you said that he's a fucking communist. Can't have you going over there. You said A, B, C, and D. Come on, man. It's obvious what they doing. Make it so bad they'll do all this and everybody will still have their firearm. That's great. Everybody will still have their firearm. But crazy stuff. That's something that we gotta really be thinking about. I mean, this dollar bill can't hold on for that much longer. Not to mention everything else they're stirring up. That's another thing. Look at what they're stirring up. That now this Charlie Kirk thing. It's not gonna be. It's gonna be another thing. They're gonna say, "Man, what the hell they doing?" And then you got the right believing it's the left now, and those people wandering around here talking about something. Yeah, no, if you speak out, you might get Charlie Kirk. This is what they're saying now already. They're thinking that if they speak out now, they might get Charlie Kirk, which is going to cause them to say, "No, I'm going to defend myself," and then, boom, there it is. So Crazy times, guys. I just wish more people would see the obvious. Maybe there could be a mass accelerated some kind of awakening, but no, man. Look at COVID, right? Look at how many people went back to sleep. You know, mad people, mad people went right back to sleep. An active political figure other than speaker. Yeah. So I don't know, man. These are things that people should be thinking about. I know I'm thinking about it. And again, we all gonna get a sign to say, you know what, time to get up out of here. You know, but yeah. So yeah, shout out to all you guys. You know, anybody watches this later, much love to you guys too. But we're living in some wild times, man. And they keep on pushing people's buttons. That's another alarming thing. They're doing a lot of stuff very quickly. So all of a sudden they're moving the goalposts a little faster. You know, and this is, don't get it twisted. It's not no civil war. It ain't happening. This is a domestic war from all fronts that being fought right now. You know, shit. But the good thing about it though is when you look on the internet, it looks worse than it does off the internet. That's why I say y'all gotta unplug because there's a lot of people that don't give a shit about politics. All right, they don't care. Okay, that's the good thing. But the problem is they're just gonna react however and choose a side at moment's notice. You know, there's not a lot of people who are really playing the game because it is too much BS, and people are like, I don't really, you know. And that's the good thing. They didn't get everybody. So, and unfortunately, we got to pay attention to it so we know what's going on. That's what I was doing. I was just ignoring all this shit. Until this damn 33rd demon got invoked. Charlie Kirk crap. I'm like, oh boy. I'm like, here we go. I'm like, here we go. But this don't matter if it's real, fake. No, they're invoking a demon, and I've already seen it in people. You know? And there's so much in the realms of the conspiracy world. What does Charlie Kirk think? That is mind blowing. But I'll tell you what, the one that's doing the best so far on this is Jason Goodman. He's doing the best, as far as like the cameras and all that other stuff and whatever. He's doing the best. Even though I think, it's something else, but there's been so many different things with that. But how you know it's just a wild, wild, wild ritual. But, yeah, I hope everybody enjoyed their full moon yesterday. Um, and the harvest. Next comes a winter solstice. As days get shorter every day and darkness overcomes. And the battle of light and dark outside of us continues. But I was hoping my brother Wise would join in, but I think I'm about to wind it on down. And yeah, I didn't even want to end it this early. It's been 2 hours. It seemed like it was longer than that. But appreciate everybody joining in. And earlier I was super fired up, but I got relaxed because I was about to go in. But it was just more on the local thing that I was talking about with, people feel empowered when and I get it, but people don't understand the empowerment that you're feeling is actually coming together and standing for something. You know, that's what it is. It's people coming together, standing for something, and fighting for something. It's a good feeling, and then you bond with people, and that's the feeling that you're feeling. But the energy is all misguided. That's how it should be. You know, on every topic that don't align right. We're the people that we put in positions, right? Because there's a big difference in a U.S. citizen and the people. So, and a lot of these people tell me that's what I voted for. Yeah, like, oh, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about because you didn't vote because votes don't count. One, and you registered to vote. So if you literally registered to vote and then you go cast a ballot, you know, wild stuff. Then there's nothing on that voter registration that states what you're voting for. That's what's even wilder. People are like, yeah, I registered to vote. I'm a registered voter. Well, you ever read the registered voter page? Doesn't say any damn thing. Doesn't say a democracy, a republic, or what. Shouldn't there be something on there saying that, yeah, you're registering to vote as a Democrat for the Republic or a Republican for the Republic? You know, it's crazy. It's crazy. People don't even know what kind of system they're in. You know, so they don't even attack an issue. But yeah, guys, I think I'm about to get up off here, man. Uh, yeah. Shout out to everybody that's up on here. Badger, Space Troll D, Angel Z that was up on here. Good to see you. Blue Dream, I didn't even see you there. Brandon D. Cuts was up on here earlier. So, all R Dubs, shout out to you. So, yeah, I'm about to get off here. Till the next time I get fired up. But much love to y'all, and I will talk to y'all later.
So, when you hear me speak and the things I say, I'm speaking to my people.
If you ask me, I'll tell you what is wrong with the world. We're being desensitized from the things we should feel. Living our lives in these times while we suffer inside, and we can't see the problems because the masses are blind. Let's try and find a solution. We're not helping ourselves. We're walking around unattached and disconnected from self. Too comfortable and too scared. That's why we never rebel. That's why we catch me writing rhymes and trying to balance the scales. Put car on the roads. It seems like dawn of the dead. Zombies, robots, lemons being misled. It's like we're sheep to the slaughterhouse on the conveyor belt, about to self-destruct, cause we're under a spell. We search for purpose, but nothing ever surfaces. We need to be accountable, cause we're deserving this. Alarm bells are ringing, but it's like you refuse to wake up. Subconsciously you're hitting on the snooze. It's just another day in this world, while we're living under the spell. When you travel through realms, just make sure you prevail. Elevate for yourself. You need to stop sleepwalking. We're blinded by the rubbish and glamorized materials. Imperialism has got us fearing rules, and tired of these rappers rapping about their cars and jewels. If you take a step back, they will define buffoons. The saddest thing is that they're in the minds of all the children. They keep our money motivated, and that's how they kill them. But do we care? No. Young money's here. That's why I aim this 2 inches above your earlobe, so we can all start pulling in the same direction. Cause it seems to me like we've lost that connection. Man, you've sold your soul, so you show no affection. Get to know yourself and love your reflection. It's like your brain's a phone and you got no reception. Arm your mind with knowledge, use it as a weapon. Alarm bells are ringing, but it's like you refuse to wake up. Subconsciously you're hitting on the snooze. It's just another day in this world, while we're living under the spell. When you travel through realms, just make sure you prevail. Elevate for yourself. You need to stop sleepwalking.
There has to be some accountability. You have to have some self-account. You have to say for yourself, what am I going to do that's right for me, man? When am I going to take ownership for what I do to me and my people?